What's up guys, Josh Blunt here and welcome to my channel where I break down everything you need to know about exercise and nutrition for beginners and more. I'm here to bring you the simple truth tailored to your individual goals. Have you ever found yourself in a position to where you're exercising on a regular basis and you take one day off to recover, and that one day turns into 2 days, which is completely fine. Sometimes we need 2 days to recover. That 2 days turns into a week. That week turns into a month, the month turns into 2 months, and so on. Well, I recently found myself in this position with a unique twist. You see, a couple of months ago, I injured my shoulder. It was a minor injury, so I took a week off to recover. Little did I know, a couple days later, I had my baby girl. So Amanda and I had a baby girl almost 2 months ago, and because of that, as everybody knows, you get no sleep. Now, the problem with no sleep isn't the fact that you're just exhausted so you don't want to work out. It's that if you're not getting the right sleep, then you're not getting the right recovery. So the last thing that you want to do is go exercise and work out, do a heavy workout, and then get no recovery or a poor recovery. Even if you do a light workout, that will add up over time. So if you're not getting the right amount of sleep, then it's not a great idea to continue exercising on a regular basis, at least for me. Well, I'm finally in a position where I can sleep almost 5 to 7 hours every single night, so I'm very excited to get back into my workout, get back into my routine. If this is you, if you've ever been in that position, you might be wondering, am I losing my muscles? Am I losing all of my gains? Well, you shouldn't worry about it too much because many of us are in the same position, whether it's a vacation or the holidays are coming up, or maybe you're recovering from an injury. Sometimes we need to take a little bit of time off, and sometimes that ends up being a little bit longer than we expected. Now, without a doubt, it's much easier to get all of those gains back than it is to get them in the first place. But if you do stop working out for an extended period of time, you will find yourself becoming deconditioned. Well, that is exactly what happened to me the last 2 months. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what happens to your body if you take an extended period of time off. Some of these I'm experiencing myself. I will also talk about how you can minimize these losses if you end up having to take a break, and how to approach your workout once you get back into it. Let's dive in. Alright, so let's talk about some potential losses to your physical health when you stop training and how we can minimize these losses. Now, obviously, this is going to be different from one individual to the next. It's going to be based on your fitness level. It's going to be based on your age. It's going to be based on the habits that you have during that break. One of the first things that you might notice is that you might be gaining a little weight. Now, obviously, this is due to the fact that you're not burning those additional calories in the gym. Now, if you're looking to minimize your weight gain, one of the best things that you can do is obviously to adjust your daily calorie intake. You can do this by eating smaller portion sizes. You can do this by cutting out the high calorie snacks in between your meals. You can do this by eating more fiber and more protein to make sure that you're full and satisfied throughout the day. Now, me personally, I had already made a few plans and adjustments before the baby was born. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to work out nearly as much, so I wanted to account for the losses in calories burned. So what I ended up doing was choosing fruit for my snacks in between meals. Now, I did this anyways on a regular basis, but I like to eat strawberries. I've been recently getting into some grapes and some bananas and things like that. And then I also changed my breakfast. So right now I'm doing a couple of rice cakes with some almond butter over the top. It's very easy to make, very quick, and it also fills you up. Sometimes just changing one meal could do the trick. Now, if you want to know how many calories that you should be cutting, this is going to be based on what kind of exercises that you were doing. So for an example, as a general guideline, if you were doing cardio for 1 hour a day, steady state cardio 1 hour a day, you could burn anywhere between 400 to 600 calories. Now, this is going to depend on your fitness level, your weight, your age, and a number of things, but as a general guideline, if you're doing steady state cardio for 1 hour, you could burn around 400 to 600 calories. Now, if you were doing some kind of resistance training with weights, you could burn anywhere between 200 to 300 calories in that same amount of time. So with that being said, depending on the form of exercise that you were doing, that's roughly the amount of calories that you're going to want to cut. All right, so another thing that you're going to notice as the weeks go on is a loss in strength. If you're doing heavy squats or bench press, etc., your muscle fibers are going to grow stronger and denser. You're putting your body through a certain amount of stress, and your body doesn't like to be in that much stress over and over and over, so it adapts, right? Then you're able to push the same amount of weight with less stress and less energy. And that's exactly how people get stronger over time. You increase the weight, you adapt. You increase the weight, you adapt, and so on. So when you're not lifting heavy anymore, your body's like, Well, I guess I don't need those dense muscle fibers then. I guess I could take it down a notch. There's no reason to waste any extra energy. Now, unfortunately, there's no real way that you can minimize the amount of strength that you lose. This is really gonna depend on how much time you take away from the gym. Unless you're taking time off the gym to go lift tractor tires or something like that, you're gonna lose some strength. Now, all of these losses that you might experience, they're gonna decline gradually. You're not gonna lose all of your strength in 1 week, but after a couple of weeks, you will start to notice a difference. Now, another very unfortunate thing that you're probably going to notice is a loss in size. Eventually, your muscles will start to shrink. Again, if you're not using your muscles, then your body isn't going to want to waste the energy to maintain them. Muscle tissue is very active, so it requires a lot of energy to maintain. Now, if you're using your muscles, then your body is going to prioritize that energy to make sure that your muscle gets what it needs to maintain its size and its strength. You see, your body is trying to be as efficient as possible for survival. So if you don't use the muscle, you'll lose the muscle. Again, this is going to be gradually. You might not notice any changes for the first month or two, and that's going to depend on your habits during that break. Now, if you want to minimize the amount of muscle that you lose, depending on how much time you take off, it's very important to get enough protein. This is going to be part of a foundation that helps to maintain and build muscle. Now, if you're consuming roughly 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, so if you weigh 150 pounds, you eat 150 grams of protein. If you're doing this, you're going to be able to minimize the amount of muscle loss quite a bit unless you're taking more than a couple of months off. So you definitely want to make sure that you're getting enough protein. Hey guys, if you're getting any value so far, make sure you smash that like button so YouTube will share that value with other people, and consider subscribing to the channel for weekly content just like this. All right, let's get back to it. All right, so the next thing that you guys are gonna notice here is a drop in your cardiovascular health. So when you're doing regular exercise, whether it's cardio or resistance training or the many other forms of exercise, your body becomes conditioned and starts consuming oxygen more efficiently. Your heart is gonna become more efficient at pumping blood throughout your body, which carries the oxygen. And then the oxygen is then going to be used to break down food for fuel. So when you stop exercising, your heart then becomes less efficient and less capable of handling that amount of blood flow throughout your body. Therefore, your cardiovascular health is going to decline. Now, my strategy for the last couple of months is to do more walking. At a decent pace, you can still get your heart rate up, and you get many of the same benefits that you would from other forms of cardio, like running, yet with less impact on the body itself. And so for me, since I wasn't getting enough sleep, I was trying to create the least amount of damage to my body while minimizing all of my losses until I can get back into the gym. So if you can't make it to the gym or you can't run, try adding a few more steps to your day to work on your cardiovascular health. Now, if you can still make it to the gym and you're just out because of an injury, then just work the other muscle groups. Maybe scale back the training intensity and scale back the training volume a little bit until you recover. All right, now it's really important not to get used to this lack of training during your break, and it's very easy to do. Sometimes when you've been out for a little bit, you tend to forget some of the physical and mental rewards that comes with consistent exercise. Heck, you might even see a decline in your mood if you stop exercising. I certainly did, because I'm no longer getting that surge of endorphins rushing through my body that I get when I go to the gym. Even if you've only trained for 1 day, it doesn't matter if you did cardio, resistance training, or any other form of exercise, you would have felt this rush of feel-good chemicals. So it is very important not to forget that boost in confidence and that boost in pride that we get with regular exercise. Now, when you finally get back to your routine and get back into the gym, it's very important that you don't start where you left off. You want to gradually get back into it. I'm talking about 50 to 60% of your training intensity and training volume compared to where you were at. You want to do less weight, you want to do less reps to failure, and you want to do less sets and reps altogether. Now, you might feel like you could do more in the moment, but it's not really about how you feel in the moment, rather how you feel the following days after your workout. Remember, your muscles aren't prepared for the workouts that you used to do. So if you push yourself too hard, even if you feel okay in the moment, you might injure yourself, you might re-injure yourself, or maybe you're just too sore to work out for a week, which defeats the purpose. So ease back into these workouts and avoid injury. And the best part is regaining all of those losses is not going to take a lot of time. Your body has already been through this. It has already adapted to that kind of growth. So it definitely knows how to begin and to get all of that growth back effectively. So you're going to get your strength, your size, and your cardiovascular health back pretty quickly, and then you can start shedding off those unwanted pounds again, if you gained any in the first place. All right, guys, that is it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you got any value out of this video, make sure you smash that like button so YouTube will share that value with other people. I do appreciate your support. Consider subscribing to the channel for weekly content on exercise and nutrition, and I will see you guys on the next video.